Hey there, I'm Bianca.
And we are from Club Sapphire.
We are from Club Sapphire.
Yes. And actually, last week when we recorded, we were talking about fantasies not talking about fantasies, we were talking about just things that we like about or love about the lifestyle besides the sex. And we got interrupted because they actually needed the room to get new people in here.
So that they could have sex.
So, well, eventually have sex, not in here. Yeah, I don't think this room would be good for sex.
No.
Every room is good for sex. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
you're gonna turn down any room?
No, I'm not. This would be okay. But they kicked us out of here before we could really finish. And one thing that we
that's not the first time that's happened.
We actually have been kicked out of rooms here because
before we could
finish. Yeah. Eventually the lights come on. They start flashing the lights.
Yeah,
they start
get out.
Spritzing us with water like you do with a cat. The cats are doing it in your backyard. Yeah. But we wanted to talk about one of the other factors that comes up in something that that people generally enjoy about the lifestyle is, besides the sex, is actually having sex with people other than your spouse. And is it okay if sex is better with that person that you have just met, or someone that's not your spouse? And it's an interesting conversation that does come up a bit with people, whether that's okay, whether it's not okay, differences, that type of thing. What do you think?
Well, actually, I'm sitting here going, I want to know what you think.
Oh, you want to? Well, okay. Well, one thing that we've always
where is this going?
One thing we've always talked about is, sex with you. I do approve of that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But there's some things, for example, that you won't do. If, for example, if you're not a big fan of things in your butt.
This is true.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But you should.
Cocks in my butt.
Cocks in your butt. Well, I know you've talked about many times about you're not a big fan of people putting fingers up there either.
No, but I think a lot of it has to do with the person and whether I know them and feel comfortable with them.
If you're okay
I don't
with the
want
finger
just
going
any
up there?
random person doing that, but maybe, I don't know, I had someone that I've been comfortable with and been with several times that maybe after we've had a discussion I would be okay with that.
Sure. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
So.
But I was actually talking more like anal plugs.
Anal plugs?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because we haven't really done that. We haven't really hung out with anal plugs. My friends.
Conversation with an anal plug. Hello, anal plug.
Well,
how are you?
That's how I ease up your muscles when you close that sphincter up. Don't put anything up there, Matt. That if I talk to it, and just lube it up, just get it on in there. Then is that the technique that works when other guys put anal plugs up inside of you?
No.
What's their technique?
I put it in me.
Oh, you put it in you?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be okay with a guy putting it in you?
If I knew and trusted and was very comfortable with the person and we had a conversation.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's good to know. So, okay, so if I were to want to put an anal plug inside of you.
Not at all.
No, really? Oh, you're like, fuck that, Matt. No, you don't get to put anything up there.
Nope. Off limits.
That's right. You have so many holes, and that's not one of them. So back to my original point.
I don't remember what that was.
is if I was in this scenario, you're like, Matt, you're never putting anything in my butt, but I really want to put something in someone's butt. Therefore, this is a great conversation. Therefore, in the lifestyle, I could find someone that would allow me to put something in their butt.
Just random shit, like a toothbrush or...
Well,
I'm sure you could find someone who is into that.
That's true. I have heard stories about those types of things.
Yeah.
But specifically that...
Well, I think you were talking more of not that sex is better with a different person. It just that... sometimes you and your spouse have different fantasies or different kinks.
Right.
And that if you're in the lifestyle, that allows you to explore those kinks that you may not be compatible with. Like, he has this kink where he has to stick shit up people's butts. I don't want shit stuck up my butt, so he's got to find one of you that wants shit put up their butts.
Okay.
Right, is that what you're saying?
Well, that's
so
simplifying it.
Call the number down here at the end of the bottom of the screen if you want stuff stuck up your butt by Matt.
So, yeah. I'm going to get some good emails now. That's fantastic. Fantastic.
No, but I think my point was, I think what you're saying is that not that you're finding people in the lifestyle that are better at sex than your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying more so you're finding people in the lifestyle that have different kinks that can curb that appetite, whereas I can't curb the appetite. Well,
sure. I mean, we've often used the example. It's like you Bianca will never be a 5-foot Asian woman, and you will never be that. And if I want to have sex, if that's on my list of having sex with a 5-foot Asian woman, that would, then obviously that's a lifestyle thing. Mm-hmm. That's something that you will never be. Mm-hmm. And so that's, yes, that there are those scenarios. But I think that there's also the factor of there are times when sex can be better with someone else than with the spouse. And for example, penis size is a common thing. If you're a guy that, you might be spectacular with your mouth or fingers or whatever, but if you have a smaller penis and you are with a guy who has just one of those, arm-sized penises, that's going to feel different, obviously, on the woman.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on this whole better sex thing. I think you need to find a different word.
Okay.
Only because I don't know that what you're trying to say is coming across. Because to me, I'm starting to get like, so first off, I want to say, like, I've been with guys that have smaller penises, and I don't think that size matters. Like, they've been able to use it, and I've been very satisfied with it. Yes, I've been with men with much larger penises, and that's fantastic, too.
Really?
But larger.
Right.
But I think it's all, it is, for me anyways, it is in how it's used. And I wouldn't say that that person was way better than you because they have a bigger penis size. I would say it's different. It's satisfying in this way, whereas you're satisfying in that way. I don't know, like...
Okay, so I think there's one of those things where it's, it's better than really the right thing, because better in some situations, in the sense that if anal sex to me was my favorite thing and I can never have it with you, then in that situation, that specific thing, the sex is obviously, anal sex is going to be better with someone else than someone I can't have it with. Okay, that situation. However, I also want to have the caveat.
But it's not better than because you've never had it with me. It's just.
And this is the important part to that, is that no one is going to replace the spouse in quality of connection. So it's kind of like, for example, a very common thing, especially with couples that are new, but most couples, is that they will go to a lifestyle club like Sapphire or whatever it might be, or a house party, that type of thing. They'll have sex with someone else, and it'll be great sex or bad sex or whatever it might be. But if you have a great time, after it's over, they will go and have just mind-blowing sex with their spouse afterward, because there's this special type of thing of like, oh my God, I saw you just with this guy and it was so hot, and I loved watching you have these orgasms, and it looked like you screamed like you've never screamed before with me. And I can interpret that as you had a better time, but it's just that you had, which might very well be the case, but that's okay, because I enjoyed the fact that you had a spectacular time, that the guy made you just come like crazy and squirt. You never squirt with me, but you squirted with him, that type of thing. Or you just, it was so mind-blowing loud that you were, scaring neighbors, and, the car alarms are going off and that type of thing. And it's like, okay, you had a great time, but then you're still coming back after it's over and connecting in such a way that obviously this other person isn't going to do. Does that make sense?
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I still think you need to edit your word better.
Okay.
I think as a woman and as a wife, and I'm assuming most of the other women who are watching this would feel the same way as I do.
Okay.
I don't want to hear that my spouse thinks that so-and-so is better at sex than I am.
Okay.
And maybe that could just be me. I don't know. But I feel like most women would feel that way. I can't imagine that you would really want me to be like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is so much better than you. That's not something you really want to hear. I think the word different or, that is
well, I guess
better.
I guess when I say better, it's not, I wouldn't say across the board, although I have to believe that is going to be the case. I mean, there are some people, for another example would be if you were fairly asexual, okay? You just didn't like sex very much, whether it was, something chemical or you just wasn't your thing, where that is okay. That you would have that I would go and have sex with someone and it would be honestly better sex. It's not the same type of connection sex, but it's still one of those things from a physical standpoint that you could say.
Would it be better, or would it be just the fact that you're getting more? If I don't want to have sex more than once a month,
right,
but our sex is amazing and fantastic, that once a month you have sex with someone else, it doesn't mean it's better, it just means you're getting more.
Okay, all right.
Because wouldn't you think that sex between two people who are very much in love and are willing, I mean, you have to be very much in love and very open to do this kind of hobby, as we've called it in the past. Don't you think that the sex that you two have is probably, there's something else, something extra there that other people don't necessarily have, that your sex would be better
absolutely
than anyone else?
Well, again, it's because...
But again, it would be different with someone else.
Okay. Well, I think a lot of it has to do with that connection that you have with that person.
So I guess the moral of right now is, if you have sex with someone else and they're way better than me, I guess I just don't want to know.
Okay. All right.
Because it's going to piss me off.
Wow, interesting. Okay, all right, so I won't tell you. Okay. Oh, I totally don't have sex with anyone else. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's really interesting because I have talked to people who will say that yes, it is okay that sex can be better because again, if you're specifically doing it from the perspective of this is a hobby and I'm literally going to just have sex with that person. There's no mental. I mean, because there's excluding all the people that are like, no, I have to have a mental connection, all those types of things. If you came into a club and you're like, I'm just gonna get laid tonight. You see a guy, he seems cute, and you're like, okay, I want to fuck this guy, and you just go and it's purely that. All right, it's purely that. Then there isn't obviously the type of connection that you would have with someone that you have a connection with, but the sex could be just absolutely mind-blowing. Is it better? It's kind of, you're right in the sense that, I'm just putting a word on something that's much more complex than just a word, but if it did something, if the guy did something to you that I couldn't do or didn't want to do or whatever it might be, then you could, I wouldn't be offended by that. In fact, I would, on one hand, I would want to learn what that thing was. I mean, if the guy, we've talked about this before, but if the guy did something with his, he's going down on you, he does something orally, and you're just like, oh my God, that was the best oral sex I've ever had, that I would actually want to learn what that was, so that one, I could do it better with you, because obviously you like that thing, and then of course that I could do it on other people as well, and then I'm better at sex, and then all the rewards that come with that would be definitely a benefit.
I just think that when you're speaking to your spouse about this and you're decompressing everything that happened, maybe not say, oh my God, that was so amazing, the best sex I've ever had in my entire life, he was so much better than you, this is what you have to do. I mean, come on.
I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say that. Be
like, oh, he did this really cool thing while he was going down on me that was like this kind of thing. I can't describe it. Go have a conversation with him. Maybe say that.
Okay.
But I just think that, like, I would never say to you,
oh, that guy was so much better.
That guy was so much better than you.
Of course not.
And I would be,
of course not.
It would crush me if you said that to me. And I get that there are couples out there that are okay with that kind of conversation.
Sure.
I think you just need to know your audience. Like, I think you know that if you were to say that to me, I wouldn't be okay with that. And that you probably wouldn't say that to me.
Okay.
So, but there are couples out there where maybe they don't have sex with each other as often,
right.
and they're in the lifestyle because they are so incompatible in the bedroom.
Okay.
That, they're compatible every other way, but in the bedroom they're just not compatible. So this is how they get whatever it is, get off.
Sure.
So obviously sex is better with whoever,
Right.
And that's fine. You have to know your relationship and know your audience, don't just, come out and say, oh God, the person was so much better than you are, because no one wants to be insulted.
I'm not necessarily saying that, but is it okay that that's the case? Like, for example, yes, you wouldn't want to offend me by going, oh my God, that guy is so much better at oral than you. Okay, you wouldn't want to necessarily say that because, that could be offensive. That could be, I could be offended by that. But if you honestly felt that, and it was because of a technique that he used.
I guess I kind of just look at things like if a guy were to do this technique on me and it was like mind-blowing and amazing,
right.
I look at it as that was a really cool experience.
Okay.
And that's it. Like, I don't look at it as better than you or better than whatever. I just look at it, that was a really amazing experience. That it, for me anyways, that it wouldn't be something where I'd be like, oh, he's so much better oral than you are.
Right.
It could be just he didn't even know what he did. He just was like doing something totally different.
Sure.
He was in the moment. Who knows?
Right.
That I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just different in that I don't look at it like this experience. I mean, you could be with the same person 3 times,
right.
and all 3 times are totally different.
Yeah.
They like I said, they may not know what they did in that moment. I know there are times that I do that. Like, I give a blowjob and someone will be like, "Oh my gosh, that one thing you did," and I was like, "I have no idea what I did. I was just." In the moment.
Sure.
I should have recorded it. I don't know. Sorry, it'll never happen again.
Because if you can't tell me what it was specifically, right. I have no idea.
Right.
Okay.
So I think that can happen with other people. And also I think that there are other things that could cloud your experience where, like, there was just some sort of extra special connection that you two had, like that, this really cool conversation that you had that made your experience even better. And then you sleep with them again and you're like, well, it wasn't as good as the first time. I mean, I think that there are many variables.
Sure.
When you're with someone, that to say this person is way better than this person, I don't see that.
Sure, no, I understand. So okay, so it seems like I think we're saying a lot of the same things, but we're just wording it different ways. So what do you think? We'd love to hear what your thoughts on this are, as far as, is it okay if someone is better than your spouse, like as far as sex is concerned? Is that like absolutely not? Or is it kind of what I'm saying, which is no, not necessarily is anyone better than your spouse, because you have that extra connection that you wouldn't necessarily have with someone in the lifestyle, especially someone that you had just met where it's just the sex. So am I right, or is it something else?
Oh.
Perfect.
Or Bianca's right, and that's just the end of the story.
Yeah. So
Bianca's always right.
Right. So comment below. We'd love to hear what you say. In the meantime, also, make sure that you do go on Facebook and follow Club Sapphire on Facebook and join the secret group that they have. Yep. And, of course, always go to clubsapphire.net, and find out about any future events that they have coming up. Every Saturday there's a great event, or there's a great dress-up thing for you, and all week there's things going on. Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and now Sundays too.
Yeah.
So, all right, anything else you want to say?
No, that's it.
Perfect. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.